Hi, everybody. Welcome to Von Cupcake Yoga. I'm your host, Gretchen, and today we're going to calm it down. So much is happening in everybody's life, and sometimes we just need a moment. So I'm going to give you a calm down rest stretch. It's perfect before bed. It's great when you just feel overwhelmed. And in today's practice, we are going to use blocks. Of course, I use blocks all the time. They are readily available. I'll put a link for a set in Amazon, but feel free to shop around. They're awesome, and they come in many different shapes and forms. And we're also going to use a blanket. So any kind of like throw blanket works well. I'll put a link in Amazon for like these Mexican blankets if you like. These are fantastic. These are what you usually see in yoga studios. But any kind of blanket that you have that's nice and thin is going to work out just fine for you. So if you need to go gather your props, hit pause and come on back. In the meantime, my friends, we're going to fold up this blanket and make ourselves like a little burrito, okay? So I'm going to fold it into fourths, about yay big, and then I'm going to kind of just fold it until I find a shape that works for me. So for me personally, I like to fold it in thirds, and I make this little burrito shape. And so the idea of this is this going to be your spine laying over this. So it might take a little bit of adjusting to get it to feel just right, but bring it to your mat once you're there, and then turn over here. And then we're going to gently lay down over this little blanket that we've created for ourselves. And maybe we bring our arms out to a T with our palms facing up. And take a moment to just breathe here. Now, if this doesn't feel comfortable, you can absolutely take this out, or you can readjust that so it feels a little better for your body. And everything I tell you today is a suggestion and not a command. Make any adjustments to serve your own body. I'll offer many different options, but there are many more available. So find one that works for you and start to breathe. Let those feet extend all the way out, and maybe those toes splay out to the side. Bring your palms facing up, maybe out to a T, maybe down by your side, whatever feels better. Let those shoulders feel heavy. This very gentle heart opener. This very gentle supported fish pose. Take in any noises that might be around you and just kind of notice that they're there and let them float away on a little cloud. Any thoughts that might pop up in your mind, I'll let them float up on a little cloud too. And then bring your attention to your breath, making no changes, only observing as that air comes in through your nose, as your belly gently expands, as your chest gently rises. And as you exhale, that belly gently wafts down. In through your nose and out through your nose. At any time during your practice today, I encourage you to try the Ujjayi breath. It's also known as the ocean breath, meant to sound like the ocean. It goes like this. Inhale through your nose and exhale out the mouth. So as you listen to your own breath, as you inhale through the nose and exhale out your mouth, it's meant to sound like the gentle waves coming in through the beach. Let your body just melt over this. And start to deepen your breath, inhaling fully, expanding your ribs, expanding your belly. Exhaling completely, let it go. Inhale fully and deeply. Exhale, let it go. Inhale fully. Let it go. Take a couple more breaths here. Bend into your knees, bringing the soles of your feet to your mat. Maybe it feels good to gently sway those knees a little bit from side to side, just gently. You're not trying to fall off your blanket. And then bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Let those knees splay open here. Little Supta Baddha Kavasana, which is a fancy word for saying supported bridge pose with bound ankle. Big full breath in. Let it go. Let those knees feel heavy. Bring those hands to the outsides of your thighs and gently guide those knees back up. And then we're going to kind of just roll to one side, just enough to reach around and grab that blanket and pull it out from underneath of you. And then come back down on your back, keeping those knees bent. Notice the difference when you have that blanket out of your back. Maybe that mat feels a little cool underneath of you. Maybe your back feels a little flatter. And then heel toe those feet as wide as the mat and start to sway those knees from side to side, nice and slow, moving with your breath. Maybe we inhale as they come up towards the ceiling and exhale as they come down on one side. Inhale the knees up towards the ceiling. And exhale as they go to the other side, allowing that hip to lift up as the floor, off the floor, as those knees get a little bit closer to the floor. And next time we find our knees over to the right-hand side of the mat, maybe we can let them come all the way down. You do have a blanket right there, so you can tuck that blanket underneath your knees if you need a little extra support. That's what it's there for. You also have blocks, so whichever feels right for you. And then extend those arms out to a T. Press your pelvis towards that right side of the mat and point that left knee towards that lower right corner and then turn your head to the left. Finding a little supported twist here. Inhaling fully and exhaling fully. Expanding those ribs as you breathe. Expanding that belly as you breathe. Exhaling completely. Let it go. Big full breath in. Exhale fully. Let it go. Tighten up on those tummy muscles just to protect our back, and then draw those knees back to center. Draw that head back to center and continue your merry way, swaying those knees from side to side, letting those hips lift up off the floor as we get real dramatic with it until our knees eventually find their way down to the left side of your mat. And once they do, let them come all the way down. You do have that blanket. You can tuck it under your knees if you need a little extra support. Press your pelvis towards that left side of the mat. Point that right knee towards that lower left corner. And then extend your arms out to a T and maybe turn your head over to the right, finding the twist on the other side here. And it's okay if maybe a shoulder doesn't come all the way flat to the floor. That's normal and that's natural. You do have that blanket there. You have a block. You can always tuck it underneath your arm or underneath your hand if you want that extra support. I kind of like to let gravity do its thing and let it just kind of hang, and it'll sink down eventually. But spend some time here breathing deep, inhaling fully and exhaling fully. Tighten up on those tummy muscles. Draw those knees back up to center. And then we've got our little blanket burrito here. We've still got it nice and folded up. So we're going to kind of line our heels up with our hips. And then we're going to take a big breath in and press into those feet, lift those hips, grab that blanket and slide it right underneath your hips, right underneath your sacrum. And you'll feel your hips are gently elevated here. And that might feel really, really good for you. Big breath in and exhale fully. Draw those knees to your chest. Now they don't have to come all the way up to your chest. Maybe you just kind of can hold on to your behind your thighs, behind your knees, and that's okay. And maybe we rock a little bit from side to side here. Big breath in. Exhale fully. Lower those feet down. Let's cross this right ankle over this left knee. Let that right leg feel nice and heavy. You can even reach down and gently press on that right thigh if you like. That might feel really good. And you don't have to do anything else. This is the posture. But if you'd like a little bit something more, we can lift up on this left thigh and we can reach down and we can hold on to that left thigh or even that right shin. And then maybe a little rocking from side to side feels good here. This is a great stretch for lower back pain, this reclined pigeon pose here. So spend some time here breathing, rocking gently from side to side, observing those sensations in your body. Big breath in, exhale fully. Lower that leg down. Lower the other leg down. We're just going to go to the other side. Cross this left ankle over this right knee. Maybe we gently press on that left thigh. And if you'd like a little bit of something more, you can lift up on that right leg. You can reach down, hold on to that right thigh, or even that left shin, pressing that knee up into your ankle. Finding a nice stretch here. You should feel it along your back hamstrings. And maybe a little rocking from side to side feels good here. Big breath in. Let it go. Observing your body, feeling those feelings, feeling those sensations. And lower down on that leg. Lower down on the other leg. Sway those knees from side to side. Gently press into those feet, lift those hips, pull that blanket out from underneath of you, and then very gently press yourself up to a seat. Now you have blocks and you have blankets. So let's sit on something. If you want to sit on the blanket, you can totally do that, or you can sit on your blocks, whichever feels right for you. I'm going to sit on my blanket and come to your easiest seat. Maybe that's the crisscross applesauce. Maybe it's having those legs extended. Sit up nice and tall here. If you got any little juicy goodness back behind you, kind of move it out of the way and wiggle a little bit on this blanket or those blocks. Feeling for your sitting bones, those hip bones. Just make sure you can feel them as you wiggle here. Return to stillness. Maybe close your eyes, or maybe just close them down. Take a couple breaths, allowing that body to adjust from laying to seated. Big breath in. Exhale, roll that chin to your chest. Let that chest feel heavy. On your next exhale, roll that left ear over that left shoulder. Let that right shoulder feel heavy. Let gravity do its thing. On your next exhale, roll your chin to your chest. Breathe into your body. Exhale that right ear to the right shoulder. Let that left shoulder feel heavy. Exhale that chin to your chest. And then very gently bring that head back up to center. And if you haven't extended your legs, go ahead and extend them as wide as feels comfortable. Inhale both those arms up. Big breath in. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Bring those hands down wherever they may go. Sink that heart forward. Maybe you gently walk those fingers out. Bring those chins to your chest. And let that chest feel heavy as you gently lean forward. Gently walk those hands over to the left leg, bringing those hands to frame that left leg. Take a big breath here. Bring those shoulders away from your ears. And then maybe you gently fold here, allowing that body to fold a little deeper. You can bring those hands to your shin. You can bring them around your foot or keep them on the floor. That's okay too. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, just let that body sink just a little bit deeper. Walk those hands gently back to center. Maybe you can walk them a couple fingerprints out and let that chest feel heavy. Walk those hands over towards that right foot. Bring those hands to frame that right leg. Bring those shoulders away from your ears. Big breath in. Maybe you fold a little bit here. Those hands can come to your shins. They can stay where they are or wrap around your foot, whichever is fine. Walk those hands back to center. Lean forward. Let that heart come down towards the mat. And it may be just figuratively in your imagination. Sometimes we can't fold as deep as we'd like to, but we can still receive that same stretch as long as we just breathe into it and allow gravity to take control. You're going to feel the stretch you need to feel. Start to walk those hands back, bringing that body back up. Beautiful. Great job. Let's inhale both those arms up. And on your exhale, bring this right hand down to the mat. Swing this left hand up and over. Find a little side body stretch here. Take a big breath and breathe into those little muscles between your ribs. Big breath in. Exhale fully. Tighten up on those tummy muscles enough to draw that body back up to center. Inhale both those arms up. And we're just going to go to the other side. Bring this left hand down and this right hand up and over. Find a side body stretch here. Big breath in. Exhale fully. Tighten up on those tummy muscles just enough to draw that body back up to center. Inhale both those arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Let that heart feel heavy. Start to walk those hands back. Extend those arms out to your side, pressing that heart forward and bringing those arms, pressing them back, maybe even lifting your chin. And then come to give yourself a hug, a nice big hug. And look down, see which arm's on top. Just kind of make note as we walk our fingertips back, our shoulders, just to kind of deepen this little hug for ourselves. And then maybe we lift up on those elbows just a little bit, finding a little bit of a back stretch here. You might find if you press your elbows forward, you might get a little more in the back there. Breathe into your body. And we're going to release. So before we do, take a moment and look and see which arm is on top, and then slowly start to release, bringing those hands down to your knees. Roll out those shoulders a little bit. And then let's extend our arms out. So we're just going to do the same thing, but bring the other arm on top. Give yourself a big hug here. Walking those fingers back. It doesn't mean you have to connect them behind you. Just kind of keep it in that general direction. Gently lift up those elbows. Maybe we press those elbows out. Find that back stretch here. Take a couple breaths. And release. Let it go. Nice and easy, nice and gentle. Roll out those shoulders. Do a little wiggling. Find some natural space here. Perfect. All right, my friend, are we ready to go to the next one? Okay, so we're going to come down off of this blanket or the blocks, whichever you chose to sit on. All of them were great choices. And then we are going to bring our little burrito that we made for ourselves, and we're going to bring it to the middle of our mat. And maybe we do a little folding, adjusting. So I'm going to unfold it to about here, and then I'm going to fold it in half. So I'm making kind of a longer version of the burrito, okay? And so the goal here is to bring our pelvis right on top of this little blanket burrito we've made for ourselves. So crawl over that blanket and then lower those hips down. Start to lower down nice and low, bringing that chest to the floor, maybe bringing those forearms up by your forehead and resting your forehead. Take some time here and breathe. Feel your belly pressing against the mat. Feel your back rise as you inhale. Feel your body melt down gently as you exhale. Breathe. Continue to inhale, fully expanding your back towards the ceiling. Exhale, fully melt down a little further. Inhale deeply. Exhale, let it go. Keep breathing here. You have so much value. You're so amazing. I'm so proud of you. Inhale love for yourself. Exhale to release what came before, those doubts, those fears. Let those go. Inhale deeply. And exhale deeply. Continue to follow your breath, sending it around your body, collecting old energy, filling your body with fresh new air. Exhale, let it all out. Melt down even further, deeper still. Start to slowly draw your elbows underneath your shoulders. Start to come into a little bit of a Sphinx pose here, shining your heart forward, maybe even looking up. Take a big breath here and exhale fully. Sink into this little version of a back bend. Find what feels nice and breathe into it. Let it all go. Slowly lower back down, bringing your forearms to the front and bend into your knees and gently sway those knees from side to side. This type of diaphragmatic breathing is great. It triggers your mind that you are safe, that you are secure. It allows that nervous system to gently release that grip of stress, that fight or flight. So sway your knees gently from side to side and then lower them down. And gently start to press yourself up to the tabletop posture. Blanket. But we're going to open up this blanket a little bit more so it's kind of just folded this size. And I'm going to lay it mid-mat and I'm going to bring my knees on top of this mat. We deserve the luxury, right? And so keeping these hips nice and high with our knees protected on this blanket, start to walk those hands out as you let your heart gently lower down towards the floor in a nice puppy pose here, sinking that heart, sinking that chest. Big breath in, exhale fully. You got this. Start to press into those hands. Start to press yourself up. Nice and easy, nice and gentle. Find that tabletop posture. And then grab a hold of a block. Bring that block to about right underneath your head. And we're going to do thread the needle on each side. And a lot of people have a hard time with thread the needle because we've got really tight shoulders. So this block is going to be helpful if that's your case. If it is not your case, you can absolutely move this blanket out of or this pillow out of. If it is not your case, you can move this block out of the way. But we're going to start with the left hand. Let's extend this left hand up towards the ceiling. And then on your exhale, bring this left hand down into that little triangle between your leg and your wrist, allowing that shoulder to gently twist and allow that head to gently come down towards the floor. Adjust your body to accommodate yourself. Maybe you're sinking those hips back. Maybe you're reaching that hand forward. But bring your head down to the block or even the floor. Let that shoulder sink down. Let that shoulder sink down. Thread the needle. One more big breath in and release. Press into those hands. Come out of this. Back to that tabletop. Okay, we did it on the one side, so we can do it on the other. Let's extend this right hand up towards the ceiling. Big breath in, and as we exhale, bring this right hand down to this little triangle between our arm and between our leg, sinking and adjusting our bodies to accommodate here. Maybe we spread those knees a little wider. Bring that head down to the block or the floor. A little bit of a twist here. Big breath in and exhale. Gently press yourself out of it. Nice and easy, nice and slow. And we can move that block out of the way. And we can come off of this blanket. And let's fold this blanket in half and bring it to the top of our mat, wherever that may be. And let's come to sit down on the floor. Grab yourself a block, have it handy, and then come to lay down on the floor using that blanket as a little pillow for yourself. You deserve it. You work really hard and you take care of everybody. So, girlfriend, get yourself a pillow. Take a moment here and breathe. And then bend into those knees. Sort of line those heels up with your hips. It doesn't have to be exact, but what feels right for you. And then press into your feet, lift your hips just enough to grab that block and slide it right underneath your sacrum. Now, of course, if you don't have blocks, you can absolutely use a pillow or something like that. But the block gives you a nice stable bit here. And here we are in our supported bridge pose. Draw those knees to your chest. Maybe it feels a little different having those hips elevated on a block. Extend those feet towards the ceiling. Extend those hands towards the ceiling. Roll out your wrists. Roll out your ankles. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. Bend into those knees and straighten those knees. And then eventually bring those feet back down to the mat. Bring those arms out to a T. Maybe those palms are facing up. Take a few breaths here. This version of a supported bridge pose is really great for lower back pain. And a lot of times when we're trying to sleep at night, our backs are bothering us. Maybe we have a belly that's pulling on our spine, and maybe our body just likes to fight with us sometimes, and that's okay. We have ways to take care of ourselves. Coming to yoga is one of those ways. It's self-care. And I'm really proud of you for doing it because you are doing wonderful things for yourself. Inhale love for yourself. Exhale that doubt, that fear. Inhale love and kindness and compassion for yourself. Let go of that old stuff, those old thoughts and those old feelings. They don't serve you anymore. It may feel good here to extend those legs. Maybe try that to see what you think. And if you don't like it, you can bend those knees again. That's totally fine. But this extended bridge kind of opens up these little front psoas muscles that are located right in the front of our hips. And especially if we sit a lot, those might be really tight because they're not used to being expanded. So this is a great way to kind of loosen those up. Those little girls and boys right there, those hip muscles, they are culprits for a lot of sciatica pain and a lot of low back pain. So give them some love. Send a big breath right to them. Say, I love you. Thank you for all that you do. Tell them they can let go. They can release. If you straightened your knees, bend those knees. And then kind of press into those feet and gently lift those hips. Grab that block, pull it out from underneath of you, and gently roll that spine down one vertebrae at a time. Bring those feet as wide as the mat. Lean those knees in towards each other. This might feel great, especially if you've got a lot of luscious goodness back behind you. That might be difficult for you to lay on your back flat. So this is a great alternative for any who have that. If you want to take a traditional Shavasana and having those legs fully extended, I completely welcome you to do that. You're at home. You can do whatever you want. I won't know. So just take a breath and do what you want to do. I'm going to keep my knees bent with my knees kind of leaning towards each other and give a little bit of relief to that lower back. And start to breathe here. Find yourself in a place that makes you happy. Maybe it's a beach. Maybe it's a field full of beautiful, fragrant flowers. Maybe it's next to a lake. Maybe it's a really cool library. Maybe you're out in the desert with all the pretty cactuses and all that other stuff that's out there. But find yourself in that happy spot, the spot that you feel safest. And spend some time there in your imagination. Look around that spot. What does it look like? Are there things that you can pick up and look at? Are there seashells on the ground or flowers you can pluck? Maybe you look up at the sky and you see some puffy white clouds. Big breath in, exhale fully. spend some time in your happy little place. And I'll let you know when it's time to return. Start to return to your body, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, wiggling your nose. And if you straightened your legs, you can bend those knees and then let them come down to one side, rolling into a little bit of a fetal posture. You've got your little blanket here. Make yourself a little cozy little fetal posture here. Take a few breaths. You are capable of amazing things. And sometimes life gets a little in the way and things get crazy. But one thing is always true is you always have you. Take care of you. Make yourself a priority. Your self-care is essential to your well-being. And it's really hard to give to others when you don't have enough at all to give. So fill up your cup with the love and kindness that you give everybody else. It's time you gave it to yourself too. And you'll find that when you do that, you will have more than enough to share and help, and you'll be energized to be able to bless others and be with them and help them and guide them and take care of them. But it all starts with you. Curl up with yourself. Snuggle up here with Auntie Gretchen. I'm so proud of you. We're going to very gently and very slowly start to press ourselves up, nice and easy, just like that. Coming back to our easiest version of a seat. Maybe that means one leg sticking out. Maybe that means you're in crisscross applesauce. It's all good. And let's bring our palms together to touch and bring them to our heart center. And as we give honor to the beautiful culture that gave us yoga, we recite, "The light in me sees and honors, is so very proud of and grateful for the light in each of you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste." Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're feeling so much better. I hope your stress level has diminished greatly. And thank you very much. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this one. Was this good? Do you need some more chill down classes? And then be sure you're subscribed to my channel. I'm always posting new and different classes. I've got some that are more active, some that are less active, some that are longer, some that are shorter. I have a variety of everybody. So make sure you're scrolling through, pick out a good one and use it. And make sure you let me know if you like that one. I would love to hear from you. And thank you so much to A Little Twisted Yoga Studio for giving me a beautiful place to teach. And I do encourage you to go out and check out your local yoga studio. There's lots of them around, lots of fantastic ones, but I'm always here for you at home. And until then, take care of each other. Bye-bye.